Welcome back to the channel. Many moons ago, back when the moon identified as a moon and not a sun, Wikipedia couldn't really be trusted. Nowadays, much different. People started to trust it a lot more, it was more accurate, so on and so forth. My problem is, in 2026, and actually it's been like this for a good couple of years now, is that it has been captured by what many refer to as woke ideology. Now, that makes me sound like a right conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm actually left-wing. I'm also, in some cases, politically homeless. Oh, and also I used to be gender non-conforming, and also I had a mild case of gender dysphoria. It wasn't diagnosed though, but I will say, looking back, I definitely had something wrong with me along those lines. Anyway, let's get into the video. There's way too much to unpack, so I'm going to try and sum it up. So let's start with gender. In the beginning, gender is the range of social, psychological, cultural, and behavioural aspects of being a man or boy, woman or girl, or portraying a third gender. Let's just click on third gender quickly. Third gender or third sex. Third gender or third sex. So basically there's conflating sex and gender already. Is an identity recognising individuals categorised either by themselves or by society as neither man or woman. Many gender systems around the world include 3 or more genders, deriving the concept from either traditional historical recognition. Blah, 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 blah. Oops. We'll get on to non-binary in a bit. Okay, so I just have to say that a lot of scholars from religions around the world have actually spoken out against Western folk using their beliefs as part of their ideology. Not going to get into that today, but that is a problem. Such as Native Americans talking about Two-Spirit and that being roped into this acronym LGBTQIA2S, all that crap. Yeah, that's a whole other world. Anyway, although gender often corresponds to sex, yes, a transgender person may identify with a gender other than their sex assigned at birth. Okay. Most cultures have a gender binary, in which gender is divided into two categories, and people are often considered part of one or the other. Yep. Those who are outside these groups may fall under the umbrella term non-binary. Okay. Right, so firstly, this is showing this as fact. It's conflating. Well, if you say gender often corresponds to sex, that's because sex and gender are basically the same thing. Gender is really just the word used to associate with the social, psychological, cultural, and behavioural aspects of your sex. So gender is essentially a stereotype. But where gender ideology begins is taking what gender means and then turning it into an entire belief system based on the idea that your gender identity exists and it's different. And let me just be clear, it's not a gender identity. It's you think that you are not your birth sex and you want to become the other sex. That's it. That is literally it. That's what transsexuals are, and that's what transgender now incorporates transsexuals into. Essentially, transgender and transsexuals, it means the same thing, but transgender is now the umbrella term. So it's taking something that's sex-based and bringing it into gender. So is it conflating the two? Is it saying it's separate? If it's separate, why is transsexual under the transgender bracket, for one? Secondly, when it says that gender often corresponds to sex, a transgender person may identify with a gender other than their sex. Well, if they don't identify as a gender other than their sex assigned at birth, they're not transgender. So what the hell is that about? I mean, you've got people that transition from one gender to the other and they think they're born in the wrong body, or they are obsessed with becoming the opposite sex, and they still say that they are their birth sex, and there's no escaping it. Like people like Blair White and Buck Angel, who happen to be conservatives, which, you know, I'll talk about politics, but there's not really much to talk about. People who are transgender are across the political spectrum. People who are non-binary are only left-wing. You will never meet someone who's non-binary who's conservative, ever. They do not exist. And if someone says, oh, I'm non-binary and I'm conservative, I'll be thinking, yeah, you're fucking not, mate. The word has been used as a synonym for sex, and the balance between these usages has shifted over time. That is true. In the mid-19th century, a terminological distinction in modern English, known as the sex and gender distinction between biological sex and gender, began to develop in the academic areas of blah, 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 blah. Before the mid-20th century, it was uncommon to use the word gender to refer to anything but grammatical categories. Okay, right. So we got gender. Let's just go straight in to transgender. A transgender person has a gender identity different from that typically associated with the sex they are assigned at birth. Has or may. Has or may. I know this is semantics, but this stuff is important. People look at this as the truth. Or should I say this is being presented as the truth? The opposite of transgender is cisgender. Okay, that's not correct. The opposite of transgender is normal person. Repeat after me. Normal person. Transgender people, roughly, as they keep telling us, make up 1% of the population. I don't know where they're talking about. Let's just say, for argument's sake, transgender people make up 1% of any given population. Then why do we need a word that separates us from them? Why do we need a word to be inclusive to 1% of people when 99% of people don't believe in what they believe in? Imagine if a religion said, we are such a small religion, but you must change your entire language to fit our belief system. You'd tell them to fuck off, wouldn't you? Oh, it doesn't harm anyone to say it. Why don't you just say it? It's nice. So you want to dictate what I should say, and you want to change the entirety of scientific knowledge in my brain that knows a man can't be a woman. Even if it's gender-based, I still don't believe they can be a woman because I don't believe in what you believe in. You want me to change my entire language just because it's nice? You fascist, bigoted shit. Transgender does not have a universally accepted definition apart from what's right above it. Transgender does not have a universally accepted definition, including among researchers. It can function as an umbrella term. The definition given above includes binary trans men and trans women, and may also include people who are non-binary or genderqueer. I think I may have just discovered an excellent defence you can use in court if you're ever accused of being transphobic. Might give it a try. Someone sue me. Being transgender is distinct from sexual orientation. Yes! And transgender people may identify as heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, asexual, for fuck's sake, or may decline to label their sexual orientation, as everyone should, because no one cares how you live your life. No one cares. I mean, being gay isn't a choice. Only Neanderthals believe it's a choice. I mean, no one chooses to, have pain in their arse and be persecuted for thousands of years. And we'll get on to homophobia, because that does exist, because you can't help being gay. You can help transitioning.
I've got spiders on my hands, or maybe my hands are just spiders. Watch out, kids! Oh, no.
And we're back. So, many transgender people experience gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is distress arising from the mismatch between one's gender identity and aspects of one's body, social role, and lived experience that are ties to one's assigned sex. So, it's someone who wants to be the opposite sex and is using sex stereotypes or gender stereotypes in order to determine that they are not the sex they were born as. You like dresses and makeup, and a lot of men don't wear dresses and makeup, and so you think you're a woman. But it's deeper than that. It's more like an obsession. It's kind of almost like OCD mixed with, like body dysmorphia. So I think that I had it, just a mild case of it. I didn't feel like a man. I wasn't like a lot of my friends growing up. I felt like I was something else. I was feminine. I preferred having female friends. I still do, actually. I came to this realization around the time I was 18. I was stereotyping what it meant to be a man. You know, I had to drink beer and watch football and be masculine and go to the gym and all this stuff. And it was part of that made me realise that recognising a stereotype is okay, but upholding it isn't. And this is why I'm against all this stuff, this gender ideology. One of my claims is that gender ideology is the most homophobic movement we've ever had in history, at least that we know of. And I'm going to show you exactly why that is and how dangerous that is to homosexuals and even bisexuals, because I'm going to talk about pansexuality in a minute. But for now, let's look at homosexuality. Right. Listen to this. Homosexuality is romantic attraction, sexual attraction, or sexual behaviour between people of the same sex or gender. I sucked a dick once in Bangkok. So according to Wikipedia, that makes me homosexual. Sexual activity, sexual practice, sexual behaviour, or very broadly sex, is the set of... it's sex. It's sex. And here comes the real homophobia, next to just simply sexual behaviour, between people of the same sex or gender. There you go, folks. Wikipedia never used to say this, by the way. It's there. You can see it right there. Same sex or gender. And you can choose your gender. People do choose their gender. Along with bisexuality and heterosexuality, homosexuality is one of the main three categories of sexual orientation with the heterosexual homosexual continuum. What the fuck is this? Oh, I don't care anymore. Oh, it gets worse, by the way. If you click on talk, you literally have people discussing the definition of homosexuality, not necessarily attraction towards other men that makes them gay. It's the feeling of femininity inside that makes them behave that way. They have womanly characteristics. Oh, my God. And, you know, I've added to this multiple times saying homosexuality is not gender-based. I'll tell you what, let's do this right now. Definition to match facts, not feelings. No, because they'll delete that straight. They'll delete it anyway. To match reality, please. I don't even want to carry on, to be honest with you. I mean, that should be bad enough. That should make you think, wow, that's disgusting. I mean, we can talk about non-binary, but I've done that in the previous video. I'll tell you what, let's talk about pansexuality quickly. People who identify as pansexual are biphobic cunts. They really are. It is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. And that's saying something because of what I've just read. Pansexuality, right, is sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people of all genders, regardless of their sex or gender identity. Yes, there are three sexualities: heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual. Pansexual is bisexual. Why do they need a separate identifier for it? You don't. It is just a pick-me nowadays. It's basically a personality trait. Look at me, I'm pansexual. Oh, I'm so cool. No, you're a fucking bigoted asshole who's most likely mentally ill. And I say that as someone who is suicidal, has depression, ADHD, 2 autoimmune diseases. I've gone through a lot. I witnessed a murder a few years ago. I've got PTSD from a breakup. I've gone through so much shit, and I'm not resorting to this bollocks because I've got a brain. I mean, I was gender non-conforming. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I had gender dysphoria. I mean, I probably would have been roped into this back in the day. And we all know what people who identify as pansexual look like. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Mostly they're new age goth and emo. So there's that to consider. Parent category, plurisexuality. Oh, piss off. It's a term used to describe individuals who are romantically or sexually attracted to people of multiple sexes or genders. It's fucking bisexual. Why? Why do you have all this? Allosexuality, grey asexuality, heteroflexibility, multi-romantic, non-heterosexual, sapphism, pornosexual. What the fuck? Unlabeled sexuality. When someone says, oh, okay, whatever. Honestly, mentally, I'm fine, but this is genuinely, a lot of it upsets me because, I mean, look at this. Some pluralisexual people may feel represented by the bisexual umbrella. Why is there an umbrella for bisexuality? It is the most simplistic thing in the world. I'm gonna go edit this video, but I just wanted to show you part of the problem. And even if Wikipedia is showing some of this stuff just to say, hey, this is what some people believe, but they're not saying some people believe that. They're saying these are people who identify this way. They're presenting it as fact. They're presenting it as a tangible thing and not part of a crazy, ridiculous, homophobic, and let's be honest, misogynistic belief system. And if you're wondering why gender ideology is misogynistic, basically trans women, aka men, have so much more traction than trans men, aka women. It's the modern trans movement is a men's rights movement, and it's the right for men to invade women's spaces and take women's struggles and co-opt themselves into it. And we see that everywhere. You know, there's currently a thing where J.K. Rowling has upskirted a trans woman. Well, you can't upskirt a man, okay? Upskirting is solely for women, okay? If a man's wearing a dress and a camera's underneath it, the term, look, right, let me just show you using Wikipedia's own logic here. Upskirting. Ready? Upskirting or upskirt photography is the practice of photographs or videos on a person's skirt skill. Okay, right, okay, fair enough. Okay, right. Okay. Women. Okay. Well, I've just proven myself wrong there. But let's be honest, most women, most upskirting incidents are towards women and young girls and not men, all right? So fuck off. And also, we've all seen the picture, okay? The bloke was on stage wearing fishnets, displaying his fetish to the world, and she simply shared a photo of it. See you on the next one. Hopefully it won't be 6 months away. I've not been very well.